Okay, so Liam Payne, the famous singer from One Direction, you've probably heard of him before, has tragically died. Now, while I am not a One Direction fan or a Liam Payne fan, I don't really know too much about them or him as an individual. Obviously, it's still a very sad situation, and my condolences go out to the family. But when I heard this news yesterday at the time recording this video, my girlfriend is obviously, or used to be, big One Direction fan. So it got me thinking, like, because Liam Payne's young, 31 years old, that's young, like literally just in your prime as a man, right? In the prime years of experience and knowledge and physicality, etc. Around that kind of age is when you enter your prime to some degree. So it was shocking when I saw that news. I actually thought it was fake. I saw it on my Instagram feed, and I clicked on the post, and it was from Lad Bible, which is like obviously a verified and legit Instagram page, and I saw it and it kind of shocked me a little bit, even though I don't really feel anything towards him or the band or his music or anything. Obviously I'm aware of who he is, and I've seen him in a couple of things, but it still shocked me. Just simply, like, it didn't feel real. It's weird. And it got me thinking about the concept of death and fear and negativity and just badness. And me and my girlfriend had this like 2-hour long debate last night when we were supposed to be going to sleep about death and what happens when you die. And my girlfriend was basically saying, you know, doesn't it scare you that it's a possibility that when you die, we could just go into an eternal nothingness, you know? And I'll get into that in a little bit more in detail in the future of this video. But yeah, it got me thinking about the concept of death. Now, I don't know what your opinions are when it comes to death. Are you scared of death? What do you think happens when you die? You know, because I understand for some people, it's kind of like they don't think about it. Me personally, I don't really think about death too much. I'm too busy living to think about death. But when it happens to someone that you know, obviously I don't know Liam Payne personally, but you know what I mean, right? I remember when Pop Smoke got shot, Little TJ got shot. Now thankfully Little TJ is not dead. XXXTentacion got shot, right? All of these artists that I listen to were either dying or getting shot. It makes it real because we're so desensitized to death from movies and TV and video games that it doesn't really feel real anymore. We see it happening so much on movies. Obviously it's not real, but it's the concept of death. It doesn't really affect you because you haven't experienced it ever. You've never died, right? To that degree in your physical body that you're in now. So it doesn't truly sit into the brain that, oh, this is an experience that will happen to me. It doesn't really feel real. Not to me anyway. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's my opinion. I just don't ever really fear death or think about death. I have to literally sit and meditate on the thought that I will die one day and truly imagine that all of this that I have in my life right now, the person I am, the thoughts I have, the perspectives I've built on this earth, the people that I love and care about, the things that I'm building on social media, the businesses, the things I stress about on a daily basis, the things that make me happy, everything that makes up you in this physical realm will one day just be gone. For you anyway. Obviously you might leave a legacy, you might leave a long-lasting impression on earth, but for you, that physical realm will be gone. At least we know that for a fact, right? The physical body's gone. You're no longer in your physical body. Maybe your soul still exists and you still know what happened. I don't know. But I want to talk about the concept of death and negativity and just fear as a whole in terms of life. Because you right now watching this have one life in this physical body. I don't know if you believe in reincarnation, whatever, but in this physical body, the person that you are right now as you listen to me speak these words, you have one life, one go on this video game of Earth, right? And this situation with Liam Payne got me thinking about this a little bit more because it's not very often I think about death. And I started to think, yeah, it's a weird concept. It is. That's the only word I can use for it. It's weird. It doesn't scare me. Or maybe there's a bit of fear in there, but it's a different type of fear. It's not like I'm living my life terrified. Oh my God, I don't want to die one day. It's an interesting concept to talk about. Now, I want to talk about why you shouldn't fear death, why you shouldn't fear life, because some people are scared of life as well, like doing things in life, approaching that girl, going to start that new business. You're scared of living as well, right? Negativity, bad things. I want to talk about all the dark side of life, right? And death as well. And I've got a couple of bullet points here. I'm going to take you through it a little bit and we'll talk about this concept. I'm sure you could learn something from it. I'm quite a deep philosophical thinker when it comes to life. So I put here, don't fear death as you create your own reality. Whatever you decide is real will dictate how you feel. Didn't mean to make that rhyme, but there you go. So what I mean by that is, if you believe that you have, like my girlfriend was saying, that you have one life and then it's just all over and you're in internal. Basically, my girlfriend was saying, what if, because it's a possibility this could happen, because no one knows what happens when you die, right? What if you go into this eternal darkness forever? You can't see anything, you can't walk, you can't move, obviously, you're not in your physical body, you can't do anything. It's just you are existing in this eternal blackness, this darkness forever, but you still have your thoughts and emotions from the physical world. That's basically what my girlfriend was saying. And she was like, wouldn't that scare you? Wouldn't that terrify you? And I couldn't give her a straight answer. We were like debating and arguing about this for like 2 hours straight because I just couldn't give her a yes or no simple answer, because if I said no, then I have to explain why, and I have to go a bit deeper into why I wouldn't be scared. And she was like, no, just give me a simple answer. So we were talking about this for ages. Now, the reason why I couldn't give a simple answer to that alternative potential hypothetical situation is because, number one, you don't know, and number two, everyone has different beliefs. What do you think about death? I genuinely want to hear in the comments down below. I know it's a bit of a unspoken about topic. It's a bit random. Well, it's not in this situation. This is why I'm making this video. But what do you think about death? Let me know. Where do we go? What's your beliefs? This is what's so interesting about human beings, is we all have different perspectives, different beliefs. I personally believe. Well, I don't actually know what I believe. I'll be completely real with you. I have no idea. I don't know what I believe. I don't even think about it. I'm too busy living life. And I'll get into why I don't fear death or negativity or badness in just a second. I don't fear any of these things. I fear the transition. That's what I fear. I fear going from my normal familiarity. And this is kind of what fear is, in my opinion, in my belief. Fear isn't actually real. It's an illusion for something that's going to happen. It's not actually real. Even when you're being chased down by a mugger with a knife and he's going to stab you, you're not necessarily scared of the act of being stabbed, if that makes sense. You know, like once he puts the knife in your neck and you start to bleed out and die, the fear's kind of gone because it's happened, right? But it's you running away from that threat that scares you. It's the fear, and the reason the fear is there is to kickstart your senses and get the blood flowing faster so you can get away from that threat. However, fear is always, in my opinion, it only arises when something is transitioning from what you are normally comfortable and familiar with to then something that's different. So I fear going broke, for example. If you don't know my story, I was broke literally 1.5 years ago, around a year ago, something like that. Completely broke, had no idea. You know, launched a couple of businesses, they all did well, they all succeeded, and now I'm here in this beautiful apartment, right? Living life, never having to worry about money again. That's the basic short side of my story and my life. Now, I still have this fear deep in me of going back to that old life again. That's genuinely scary to me. Now, I don't necessarily fear being broke, like being in my body when I'm broke, having no money. I don't fear that, because as human beings, we're very good at adapting. We're very good at just getting used to things, right? So I don't necessarily, and this is what I genuinely believe about fear. I don't think fear is the act of something, you being in the moment of something. I think it's always the transition, it's always the lead up to something that's the scariest. I'm fearful of going from this life I have now to then being broke. It's that transition from the two different realities that scares me. It's not necessarily the reality itself. I've been broke, I don't care, I'll survive. It'll actually be quite fun. A lot less stress, right? So that's what I feel about fear. And it's the same with death. I don't necessarily fear death as a thing because, or like, oh, my life is over now. I fear the transition of going from alive to then nothing. But then a reason why I always tell guys don't fear death is because my belief of it, and this is the first point, you create your own reality. You create what you believe, and what you believe impacts how you feel about it. So I don't feel fear for death because I just believe that once it happens, you don't know anything about it anyway. It's over. That's it. The physical body that you are in is now offline. Your soul, I believe you still have the same soul. I believe your soul is still existent in the universe, right? And that soul learns lessons from being in the physical shell, in the physical realm, and it learns lessons for the soul, and then it passes on to maybe a next body or the next life or whatever. That's kind of what I believe. So because I have that belief, because I believe that when I die, I won't remember any of this anyway. It won't be like a thing where I'm sitting and reflecting, oh my God, I'm dead, video game over, back to the lobby. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen. I believe that once I'm dead, my brain, my consciousness of this world, my ego, all of this stuff is offline, it's gone. and now my soul just passes through to wherever it goes. So why would I fear that? So when people say, oh, are you scared of death? Not really. Maybe one, because I don't think about it that often. But number two, even if I do, I believe, and I can't change my beliefs, but that's just what I believe. This is what I've decided death is to me. So you can do the same thing with anything in your life. You can choose what you believe and you can decide things for your reality. And whatever you decide will become your reality. So, oh, death is scary. It's not, because I've decided it's not. Because I've decided when I die, this is what's going to happen. Whether or not that happens, I don't know, but I'll find out when it does. And this is the simple mindset I'm trying to preach onto you here. Operate through life with this simplicity. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't think to yourself, oh, but what if, oh my God. Decide on a belief. And then if that belief is proven wrong when the time comes, okay, by the time it happens, you'll be in the moment anyway. So it's all, like I said, it's always the lead up to things that scare you. It's always you sat here right now thinking, oh, what if that girl rejects me? It's not the actual moment of rejection that's fearful for you. When you actually get rejected by a girl, it's not scary. It's kind of a relief. It's, oh, at least that interaction's over, you know? It wasn't going very well. But the act, the lead up to it is what's scary. It's you overthinking, it's you planning out all the possible, oh my God, it could be this, could be that. It's the uncertainty that scares you. So if you instead just operate with a very present mindset, I'm just taking each day as it comes. I don't think about death, because when death happens to me, I won't know any different anyway. I'll be dead. So why would I fear that? Why would I live my whole life in fear of something that I won't even know when it's happened anyway? It'll just happen. And even if I have like some, God forbid, slow death, someone slits my neck and I'll start bleeding out or something, even if that happens, I, in the moment, wouldn't have any other choice. That's what's happening. I'll obviously try and fight for survival. I'll try my absolute best to stay alive, but if I die, I die. Like, the thing is with human beings, and this is my second point here, you always adapt, or you won't know anything about it. The only two things that ever happen to you as a human is you adapt to something or you die. And if you die, you also adapt to that death. Do you understand? So it's like, if I jump off of a mountain, bungee jumping, and I'm scared of heights or I'm scared of bungee jumping, let's say I jump off the mountain and I lose my leg in a freak accident. Now I'm an amputee. You might be scared of that. And it fucking scares the shit out of me. I'm so grateful for my limbs. I'm so grateful my body is all intact. It all works, right? Now, I could choose to fear not having a leg and never do bungee jumping and never have the experience of doing bungee jumping, for example, because, I might fall to the ground and break my back or something like that, right? But even if the worst case scenario happened and I fell to the ground and I broke my back and I'm still alive, I will adapt to it. I'll get used to having a broken back. I'll get used to being paralyzed. You just get used to things, everything, cold showers, talking to women, having no legs, like everything that you go through in this life, you are forced to adapt to it. It becomes your new normal on a long enough time frame. Sure, the actual transition, like I mentioned before, that's what you're scared of. It's not the thing itself, it's the transition from going from one life to a new version of reality. That's the scary thing. So yeah, of course, in the moment, as soon as I've realized, oh my God, my legs are off or something, yeah, that's gonna be fucking terrifying and weird and confusing and scary. Of course it will. It'll be a cocktail of emotions. But on a long enough time frame, give it a couple of months and I'll be used to it. I'll be fucking crawling everywhere, but I'll still be doing pull-ups with no legs. Like, that's what you see those guys in the gym in wheelchairs still absolutely hench doing pull-ups. It's because they just get used to it. What other choice do you have? That's it. That's as simple as life can be. It's either you adapt to it or you die. Because if you don't adapt to it, then you can't function in that reality for very long and you end up dying. And that's how life works. And when you die, my belief is, you don't know anything about it anyway. So why should you fear any of these things if you know that in the end, it'll all be okay? Everything is temporary. Just take each day as it comes and just enjoy the moment. I really want you to take this talk about death, as morbid and as bleak as it can be, if you perceive it to be that way, as a positive. I want you to take it as something that is peaceful to you almost. When I see death, it shocks me initially, especially if it's somebody that I know or that I'm aware of, or if it's a close family member. It shocks me initially, but it doesn't have a long-lasting, it doesn't traumatize me, it doesn't scare me, it doesn't have a long-lasting effect on me. It's almost, I am at peace with death, because when it happens, if it happens, because I'm fucking invincible, it will be a concept of, I don't know any different. And that's what I believe, and that's why I feel the way I feel. If you believe that when you're dead, you're going to go into this eternal hell forever, obviously that's going to scare you. But that's your belief that's shaping your physical reality now. It's shaping your emotional state now. Do you understand? So your beliefs literally shape your reality. You may as well just decide to believe the thing that gives you the best quality of life now. Whether it's deluded or not, who knows? Who knows what happens when you die? You don't know any difference, so you may as well just assume the best case scenario. Because you don't know the facts anyway. And that's the same with talking to women. You're talking to a girl, she starts ghosting you on text. Oh my God, it must be because I have a small dick, or it must be because of this, it must be because of that. Not necessarily, because you don't know why she ghosted you. You don't know the facts for 100% certainty. So you may as well just convince yourself of the best case scenario that it could have been. Maybe, I don't know, her dog's just died and she's sad and she's off now. Right? She didn't want to talk to you. She didn't want to talk to anyone. Cool, maybe it could have been that. Nothing wrong with me. Convince yourself of that fact. Because now you can go about the world with confidence, with positivity. You're not beating yourself up. You're not traumatized. You're not wasting time overthinking something that you don't even know. It's the best way of operating. So the next note I've got here is use it as motivation to live a good life. So maybe, I've got here another note, maybe you should fear death. And maybe you should fear it and use it to live a good life. People talk about fear and negative emotions and sadness and guilt and all these bad things, quote unquote, right? And I always say to people, as you see in my videos a lot of the time, that there is no such thing as good or bad or positive or negative. It's all just simply an experience of life. It's all an experience, okay? What you decide to label it is whether or not it will be positive or negative. Again, it's all in your control. If my dog dies, I don't even have a dog, but if my dog died, and I look at that situation and I think this is bad, this is negative, then it will be. And my subconscious mind will look out for facts in the real world that confirm that bias. Yeah, it's bad because now I'll never get to see my dog again. All those walks we went on, she was my little best mate. It's bad, it's bad, it's bad. If I think, okay, my dog's just died, it's not nice. I probably didn't want that, obviously, but it can be positive. It can be just another experience of life, the natural cycle of life. Let me look at it from a positive lens. It's taught me gratitude. It's taught me presence in the moment. It's taught me to be appreciative of things while I've got them. Now that dog dying situation has actually been flipped into a positive, as insensitive as that sounds, right? But what other choice do you have? Are you just going to allow negativity to consume you because something that you can't control in the external world around you has happened? Now you're going to allow it to just affect you? It's your choice whether or not you let these things affect you. It's all up to you all the time. So I actually look at fear as, if I feel fear, I don't look at it as, oh, this is bad, I shouldn't be feeling fear, it's negative, I don't want to feel negative. I look at it and think it's just another experience. It's another perspective on life. It's another angle at looking at the world through that I maybe wouldn't do normally. I'm not living my life in fear, so the off chances I ever feel fear, I embrace it. Because it's opened up my mind to thinking and looking at the world and ideas and everything else, inspiration from certain perspectives that I didn't have before. Now I'm looking at the world through a fearful lens momentarily. I might think of things differently the way I did if I'm just in a positive state. So I don't look at fear as a negative because it just gives me a new lease of life, a new perspective on the world in that moment. I can learn stuff from that. And I can also use it as an emotional fuel, as energy to make sure I live a fucking good life. So I don't actually fear death, so to speak. I actually fear just not being me anymore, as arrogant as this sounds, but I don't think you should think anything less. I think you should fear that as well. You are an amazing person. You should be living life to the absolute fullest. That should scare you that one day you're not going to be you. When me and my girlfriend were having this conversation, I said, I'm not necessarily scared of death. I'm more so just scared of not being me anymore because I'm so good at life. I know this sounds arrogant, but that's what I think. That's what genuinely I believe. I love myself. I love who I am. I love the life I've created. I love the knowledge I have. I love the things I know. I love everything that makes me me. And that is the scariest part about death. It's not necessarily death itself or not living life anymore. It's not living life as me. That's what scares me. Now, back to the topic of fear. Because that scares me, I don't start living my life in negativity all the time and not trying things and not doing anything because I don't want to die and living my life in this most safe bubble possible. I use it as motivation to live the best life I possibly can. Literally to live my life to the fullest. I'm more scared of not fulfilling my potential as this one physical body that I've got than death itself. That scares me. It scares me being average. It scares me taking the fucking tram to work every single day to some job that I hate, living a life that I don't want to live. That scares me more than just death. Because when I'm dead, I'm dead. It doesn't make a difference. Like, I won't know anything. I'll adapt to it. Even if I do live in eternal blackness for the rest of my life, that will be all I know. So I don't have a polar opposite to compare it to anymore, because that's my new life. So why would I fear that? I'm more scared of not doing as much as I can do on this earth, on this one beautiful life that I've been given. This one video game play that I've got. I want to make the most of it. I want to play every mission. I want to do absolutely everything. I want to meet all the NPC side characters. I want to do all of it. I want to live life to the fullest. You understand? That's my perspective on it. So, yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the concept of death. I would love to hear your perspective on it. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. And yeah, it's weird. It's a weird situation, because I remember going down my Instagram feed and I seen his face and it said rest in peace and the year we was born to the year now, obviously. And I was like, this is fake. Like, it's got to be fake. Why is Liam Payne on my feed anyway, right? But me and my girlfriend were literally talking about him the other day. That's what's so weird about it, is we were literally talking about just his life. I don't know how we got into the conversation, but obviously my girlfriend was a big One Direction fan, so I was just having a conversation with him and what I know about him to her, and now I see him on my feed, and obviously tragically he's passed away, and that's very, very sad. And it even shocked me, and I don't even listen to his music or One Direction's music. I don't really know much about him, but it even still shocked me. I think just because he was so young. So it's weird, isn't it? Life can just be gone just like that. It's crazy. And when you think about it like that, I guess it is kind of scary, but that's the point. Maybe you should fear it. Don't take my advice. Don't take anything I've said in this video as, oh, that's how I should think. And this is how you should go about life in general. Don't walk around and think, well, this person's successful, this person said this, I'm just going to adopt their beliefs. Think. Be a deep philosophical thinker. Be interesting. If anyone asks me a question about any topic of life, I don't just give us, just like prime example, my girlfriend was actually getting annoyed by it to some degree last night, because I don't just give a simple answer. I like to think deeply about things. I like to consider possibilities. I like to consider other avenues and other aspects of the question in and of itself, and of the topic in and of itself. So be a deep thinker, think more, adopt your own beliefs. What do you feel? What do you believe? And where do those beliefs come from? And do you want to accept them as your reality? That's a very important thing for you to do. So I think that's all I have to say in terms of the concept of death. I appreciate you tuning in, but I'm not even going to plug any of my mentorship services or any of the things I sell in this video. That would be quite insensitive. But I just wanted to have a chat with you really just about the concept, and yeah, it's an interesting one. Life's weird, isn't it? Because we're here now. This is the present moment. You listening to this video right now, I want you to understand, I want you to do an exercise for me. Just be here with me. Sit and feel this moment. Feel you existing in the physical realm. Bro, my stomach is rumbling like mad. Trying to give you a little motivational speech. I've been fasting for like over 24 hours now, I think. I might continue for the whole of this day. It's currently like 10 a.m. as I record this. I might just continue for the whole of today. 48-hour fast. Proper detox, clean myself out. But regardless, be present. Enjoy every single day, whether it's good, bad, whether you're going through something that you don't want to go through, whether life isn't the way you want it to be. It could all just end tomorrow. And everything you were stressing about is completely insignificant and irrelevant. God forbid, and I don't like to speak things into existence, because the universe doesn't know the difference between hypotheticals and reality. It just takes what you're saying at face value. So I'm not going to say the words, but if these things happen to me, I would be happy with the life I've lived. I'd be proud of the life. Even though I'm only 22 years old, I wouldn't feel, regretful. I wouldn't feel like, oh, there was more I needed to do. Obviously there is, and I still think I want to live life so many more years. Of course I do. And I want to live life to the absolute fullest. There's still so much I want to achieve and do. I'm not even scratched the fucking surface. I haven't even begun. I haven't even begun in terms of the success I'm going to achieve and the things I'm going to do in this life and the longevity of that success that I'm going to have. But I'd still be fucking happy because I've made the most of what I've got in these 22 years already. And that's all you can do, man. Just look at your cards you've been dealt. Be present. Don't complain. Don't victimize yourself. Don't waste time being negative when you could be spending time enjoying what you've got. That's such a foolish way to live. You know, some people will literally waste time complaining about how bad their life is instead of actually just living life and doing something to change it in the future. So take this video as a reminder to just go about your life with presence, with gratitude, and with love. As hippie and spiritual as this sounds, go and show love to people. Go and give out positive energy. These videos that I make for you guys, I don't have to do this. This is free. I've just spent 30 minutes of my life talking to you and potentially giving you some life-changing value and perceptions on life that I didn't have to do, but I do it because I enjoy it, and I do it because I'm giving out positive energy. And I know that if I give out positive energy will come back. But you don't want to just do it for that reason. Just do it because it's fun to put out positive energy into the world, regardless of what's happening. I used to have loads of bad days. I still do. Bad days never end. They're not going to go anywhere. And again, it's all about how you label them. But I used to have bad days, like really, really shit days where everything was falling apart in my life. And my friend would text me, for example, like, yo, you coming gym today? And when he texted me, the initial thoughts that I got in my brain when I looked at the text, because I was just going through so much shit, was just, oh, fuck off, leave me alone. Now, of course, I didn't voice that into the external world, but that's what I thought momentarily in my mind. And instead of responding like that, I controlled myself. I took a deep breath and I thought, right, the only way I'm going to tip the scale of life back into a positive momentum direction is if I start giving out positive energy. If I'm having a bad day and then I respond negatively to that bad day and start giving out bad energy to the world, I'm going to get another bad outcome. And it's a never-ending cycle of badness and negativity. In order for you to change the way your life is going, you need to just give out positive energy. You need to give before you receive. That's always how life works. You need to be grateful for what you've already got before you receive the next level of blessings. Maybe that's what you're doing wrong right now. You want to start making money, you want to start living a good life, you want to start doing all these things. Maybe you're just not grateful for what you've already got. I was so grateful for my shitty, small, single bedroom prison cell room back in the council estate I used to live in at my mum's house. I was so grateful for it. I never once complained. I loved it. It was amazing. I felt so cozy and so warm with gratitude and love every time I was in that room, even though it was like not the best room in the world. It had holes in the wall from when I used to punch it and shit. It was a bit dusty and it was small, but I was fucking grateful for it. And I was grateful for absolutely everything around me. Even though I had no money in the bank, my life wasn't where I wanted it to be. I didn't have the physique that I wanted. You know, I felt I was too skinny. There was all these things I was trying to work on. Yet I was still grateful every day, and that's why I am where I am today. That's why I've received all of these blessings, because I've put hard work in and I've shown gratitude to what I already had in this physical realm. And the universe rewarded me for that. So regardless of what happens in this life, you just got to roll with the punches. You just got to enjoy the video game that you're playing. And I know it's sometimes hard to do that, but what other choice do you have? Are you going to feed into negativity? Are you going to allow negativity to win? Are you going to give that the power, or are you going to give positivity the power? It's up to you to choose. So I hope you learned something from this, and I would be very curious to hear your perspective as well. So put it down in the comments. What do you think happens when we die? Take care of yourself. Operate with positivity today. Be present. Tell the people around you that you love them and that you're appreciative of them. Be grateful, and just operate with a wholesomeness. Go spend time in nature today. Go for a walk or something. The sun's shining. It's a very rare occurrence in Manchester, England. So I'm going to go for a nice walk in a minute and just enjoy the world. All right, in a bit.